What's good, YouTube and Twitch? Welcome to the house. We have with us Taylor Wallace, who just topped the regional this weekend. We're going to do our card of the week with Booby Trap E. You want to tell us a bit about this card?
Okay, so this card, whenever it got released in the OCG, or debuted in the OCG, like just as news, like they were going to get it in a few months, you know, we got the news as well. I read it a long time ago, and you know, Vanities was at 1. So I read it, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's like we have 4 Vanities Emptiness. And then I quickly forgot that card existed. And then when Wing Raiders came out, I was just looking through cards, and I didn't look at a spoiler or anything like that. And I saw that card came out, and I was like, oh, hey, I thought about this card when I saw it a long time ago. And then I quickly dropped it again. I didn't really care. No big deal and stuff like that. So it was like kind of fresh on my mind because I saw it recently, and I wasn't like thinking about like how to make it good or anything. I played at a local on Wednesday, and I hadn't played against BA with Beatrice and everything like that, and I was using Pendulum. And my friend, you know, he beat me. Like, I saw the power of Beatrice, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's really good and everything. BA's nice and everything. He was milling a lot of stuff. He milled a lot of traps, and like whenever he was milling for Dante, he didn't get a lot of good mills. But I mean, he still beat me and everything. And on the way home, I was thinking about Booby Trap E because I just recently saw it, and I was like, ooh, like what if I milled anti-spell fragrance? That'd be really cool. You know, I could just, you know, activate Booby Trap E. It's a discard trap essentially as well. You can discard a Burning Abyss or a Phantom Knight, and then reset, you know, one of your continuous traps. And I had just lost to Phantom Knight BA, so I was like, oh, you can reset Fogblade. Now I've never used the deck, so I'm not sure if that would even be a good idea. But I was just thinking of, you know, ways to use the card. And I sat there, I was like, yeah, but like milling the continuous trap and having the booby trap all sounds like in a perfect world kind of stance. And I thought to myself out loud, and I was with my friend Brennan, I was like, man, only if there was a card that foolished any card. And then my friend Brennan was like, I'm pretty sure Beatrice does exactly that. I'm like, no way, it just sends any card. It's got to send like a Burning Abyss card or something, right? And then he read it, and it said, send any card from your deck to the graveyard. And then instantly I was like, that's just insane, because you can open up Beatrice, which is fairly easy in pure BA. You know, a Tour Guide or a Speedroid and just another BA, or 3 BAs, for instance, or a Phoenix Rhino. Yeah, it's easy. And then 1 Booby Trap E. And then essentially, you know, you set the Booby Trap E, you pass into their turn. If you know you're playing Pendulum, you know you're playing Monarch or whatever, you can go Standby Face, detach Dante, dump the anti-spell. Dante adds the discard fodder that you're going to need for Booby Trap, and then you discard it, and then you set the anti-spell, and you can activate it all during the standby phase. So like the time you would want anti-spell fragrance, you're gonna have it. I thought this on a whim. Like I was like, I didn't really like think it on a whim. Like I knew it was good. Like I just knew it was good just when I thought about it, because it's straight up consistent. If you draw anti-spell, that's good. If you draw Booby Trap E with Beatrice, that's good. It's the deck is meant to do all that anyway. So it just, I knew it would work, and I was like, well, what other floodgates could I use? And
yeah, because if you draw the anti-spell, you can just use it.
I could just use it for another different one. And I was like, okay, you know, obviously Vanity's Emptiness comes to mind. I like it. I like Vanity's Emptiness. I'll continue using it, of course. You know, you mill it with Booby Trap E, or you mill it with Dante or whatever. It's not really ideal to send with Beatrice, because if you have Beatrice, Vanity's Emptiness, you kind of turn your Beatrice off. But like, it's, you know, it's a good backup. It's a good card in general. I'm not gonna say don't run it, yada yada. But like, a Beatrice play with Booby Trap E with this isn't the best play.
But with anti-spell, it's really good.
Anti-spell, it's very, very good.
So it gives you other options if you draw it.
Yeah, exactly. And another cool thing about Booby Trap E is if you open up Booby Trap E, Beatrice, and anti-spell, what I was doing at the regional, I would also, like, going into their end phase, they would set cards like spells, like MST, or no, I wouldn't say MST, but like maybe Drake, I don't know, traps. Who cares? But they would set their back row. And then, upon their end phase, I would Beatrice, detach Dante, and I would send Zing Zang Hugh. Yeah, it was Beatrice for you. I would send, where is that?
Yeah, it's over here.
Right. I would send Zing Zang Hugh. And then I can activate it right when I set it from the grave, and the anti-spell's already face up, so I pretty much just, like, searched out a Twin Twister. Like, as I stunned their back row, it was really creative. I don't know if I'll use it again. I'm going to test it a little bit more. It didn't come up that often, but I did Zing Zang Hugh a few things, and I did use that way I just said a few times, and it was pretty nice. But another thing that like really shines about like the Booby Trap E, whenever you're siding, going into like hard matchups like Monarchs, because the field spells like it hurts, and Stormforth over Beatrice hurts. You can side in the Master Restricts. Master Restrict, obviously, set Booby Trap E, make Beatrice go, standby phase, detach, send Master Restrict, boom, activate Master Restrict. And on top of that, anti-spell also hurts Monarch as well. When going to Cosmo, anti-spell doesn't hurt that much, but Imperial Ironwall does. So you have access to like all of these floodgates in your milling deck. Like if you mill it, it actually helps you more. So it's like you're sort of searching for them
because it saves your Beatrice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And in the mirror match, you can do Stygian Dirge. That only affects your opponent. So, that only like knocks your opponent's levels down by 1 or 2 or however much, whatever. So that's good in the mirror match. There's multiple floodgates you can use for different matchups, and Booby Trap E is pretty much just a wild card for all of them. It's very versatile, and I really, really like it. I'm glad I decided to start using it. So, and I'm definitely going to continue using it for sure.
Boobies.
Yeah.
They're good for you.
It's very different. I'm usually not a fan of cards with stupid art and stupid names, but...
And such restrictions, too.
Yeah, this card is just... It shines. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
good.
with the mills, it turns bad mills into good.
Yeah, like...
Allows you to use your Beatrice for something else like a Farfa or effect negation.
Exactly, because you don't have to waste your Farfa, or you don't have to waste your Beatrice on dumping a floodgate, but... turning your Beatrice effect into a floodgate isn't that bad of a deal.
And making use of bad mills. Of course.
Exactly. So if you mill anti-spell or Vanny's Emptiness, people are like, oh, that sucks. And typically you're like, dang it. But in this build you're like, cool.
Pitch a free card.
Yeah. So it shines. I like it a lot.
All right. So this has been Card of the Week. Zodiac Duelist's own Taylor Wallace here with House of Champs, and be sure to subscribe, keep up with the series. And more of this later.
See ya.